Hey YouTube, it's your girl Chic from Chic Say What. We're gonna get into it. Many of you may have already heard the rapper DaBaby and his baby mom DaniLeigh's brother got into it at a bowling alley, and it didn't end well for DaniLeigh's brother. But listen, he was there protecting, he tried to protect his sister, so we gonna give him that. But yeah, it didn't quite work out for him with the fight, especially given the fact that he's the one who called out the rapper DaBaby because of how he was I guess treating his sister. Y'all remember some months back when the rapper DaBaby had DaniLeigh put out of his home and called a police on her, and even tried to put an assault charge on her, but I think he later kind of circled back and kind of had that dropped. But it's been a lot going on with that baby, so we're gonna get not with that baby, with DaBaby, who he has a baby with DaniLeigh, if y'all can follow me with all that. But before we get started, if you have jumped on this live, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I go live, because as I say, I'm real random over here. But welcome to the party. We are the Starlights over here, and this is where we get into all things celebrity, drama, viral moments, like anything. Listen, anything that's that's a hot mess, we gonna talk about it over here. I also want to talk about Kim Kardashian did an interview with People magazine, and she really, she told us how she really feel about, her little situation with Kanye, the divorce, the children, just everything, just the impact that divorce can have just on the entire family. So it seems like, she really opened up in the magazine. And divorce, anybody who's, I fortunately have never experienced going through a divorce, but I've seen the effects of a divorce. I will say that. And then when you have children involved, it just takes it to a whole nother level. So we are going to get into that too. But first, like I said, we're going to jump into this situation with DaBaby. Everyone's talking about it. I remember when DaBaby had put DaniLeigh out. I guess it was a later part, right around the holidays of last year in 2021. And DaniLeigh's brother spoke out about the situation, and he just didn't appreciate how his sister was getting dealt with, rightfully so. I had never even heard talks of anything about, a brother or anything like that. So hearing about DaniLeigh and a brother, like, that was all new to me as far as with the brother situation. But needless to say, she does have a brother, and her brother loves his sister. Her brother name looks like he goes by Brandon Bills. So we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about or learn who exactly is Brandon Bills, because if any of you are like me, you're like, who that is, Harpo? You're like, you don't know who he is. So let's kind of just jump over to see, like, who's Brandon? Who's Brandon? So this is from The Sun. So this article says singer DaniLeigh and rapper DaBaby were embattled in a very public domestic dispute. When news of the breakup became public, DaBaby, DaniLeigh, and her brother Brandon all took to Instagram to air out their grievances with one another. So this is a picture of DaniLeigh and her brother. So if you didn't know, now you know. This is Brandon Bills. Who is DaniLeigh's brother, Brandon Bills? DaniLeigh's older brother, Brandon Cruel, publicly known by his stage name, Brandon Bills, is also in the music industry. Another little fun fact I learned, which some of you may have learned that I didn't know. I think I was listening to the blogger Toxic Diamond earlier today, and she mentioned that their mom, I guess she has a record label. So I don't know if initially DaniLeigh was under her mom's label, but this drama kind of started messing with the bag over there with the label and everything like that. So I think DaniLeigh kind of broke ties from her mom. But yeah, I wasn't familiar with DaniLeigh's family like that. I barely kind of knew who she was, really, to be honest. But yes, apparently, DaniLeigh isn't the only one that's in the industry. So let's continue on in this article. Brandon Bills is a rapper born in 92, which would make him 2 years older than DaniLeigh. Brandon and DaniLeigh grew up in Miami, Florida together and always expressed a joint interest in music from a young age. In November of 2021, Brandon came to his sister's defense amidst the drama between his younger sister and the father of her child, DaBaby. So, let me see. Make sure we still good over here. Okay. So back to the article. Let me see. I got so many things open up I want to share with you all. Okay. So what happened with Brandon Bills, DaBaby, and DaniLeigh? Quote, keep my family out your mouth, internet gangster, warned Brandon on his Instagram story, which was directed at DaBaby. His reaction came on the heels of DaBaby and DaniLeigh's bombshell breakup, which was highly chronicled on social media. Y'all, if y'all can remember, that was a hot mess. I'm not quite sure if I covered that. I've done a lot of videos, so I'm not quite sure if I covered that whole debacle, but it was a hot mess. It was a hot mess. I was embarrassed for her, but at the same time, it wasn't really a moment to feel sorry for, because my thing is, if you know anything about DaBaby, this industry, like, you know that he is not the one. So anybody, you could have asked DaBaby mama, what's her name, Mimi, you could have asked her that, but anybody who know anything, you know, DaBaby is not the one. So the fact that she went and barked up that tree, sis, you can't try to tell me that you didn't know what you was getting yourself into. Unfortunately, you got some people who have this mindset of they different, they better than the next. Remember, she had the song Yellow Bone is what he wants. So I don't know, she thought that because she was yellow that she was gonna get a whole nother version of DaBaby, but the devil is a lie. That was proven incorrect. She got the same man that Mimi had or anybody else that didn't dealt with him had. It was no different. So he definitely did embarrass her on the gram. Like, everybody's seen that. I don't even know how you come back from that with trying to even salvage your relationship after the way he did her. So what else? This article also goes on to say, following DaBaby's allegations of DaniLeigh's family disowning their child and that the singer's family has never met their newborn, Brandon continued to respond to the accusations. Quote, when you come to the West Coast, bro, which I know you be out here, you gonna catch this one-on-one fade, Brandon said on Instagram. He continues, see what happens between me and you. I want to see how much of a gangster you are, how much of a real man you are. Brandon concluded his Instagram responses by challenging DaBaby to a fight and by refuting the rapper's claims that DaniLeigh's family disowned her and their newborn child. Was there a fight between DaBaby and Brandon Bills? The November 2021 Splitsville annex from the two of the performers reached a boiling point months later. So fast forward, y'all, to today, February 10, 2022. Video footage surfaced of DaBaby and Brandon Bills engaging in a physical altercation. In the circulated clip, the two can be seen physically assaulting each other at a bowling alley as members of DaBaby's entourage assist him. So basically, he got jumped, y'all. You know, he came to the party solo. Now, that is a question, you know, that's kind of out there, phoning a friend. If you know you got beef with somebody and you know you're about to go into an environment where they're likely to be at, I mean, is it common sense to kind of roll solo when you know they typically don't roll solo? I'm just saying, because I feel like, given that Brandon had basically called out DaBaby, to me, I feel like from that point on, he should have been moving more smart, you know, making sure that he had, you know, he had some people with him and not be caught out there by himself, especially going to a social event where, from my understanding, he knew DaBaby was going to make an appearance. So, like I said, it didn't quite work out for bruh, but I got some pics and things like that to show you, so you can kind of, you know, be in the moment, feel like you were there, because it was a whole hot mess. So let's see, let's see. In the circulated clip, the two can be seen physically assaulting each other at the bowling alley as members of DaBaby's entourage assist him. In the wake of the viral video, DaniLeigh addressed the news on her Instagram page. The singer said, "Lame as hell, running up on my brother on some slippery ASS floors with 5, 6 of your boys while he's by himself and not even touching him." She continued, "Lame and so sad. I pray this stops now because this is my family and I got a daughter to raise sad." So like I said, I mean, she was right. But my thing is the brother, Brandon, Brandon Bills called out DaBaby. So given the fact that she dealt with DaBaby, she know DaBaby is definitely about that life. He's hood. He doesn't hide that. You can look at, his background check, Google him, and you know that he don't just be sitting around playing board games. So with that being said, I have to wonder, did she ever at any point pull her brother to the side and say, "Yo, just leave it alone because it's not worth it," because you just don't know what you can embark, what tree you barking up on. So I don't know if they had that conversation, but clearly, he was out to defend his sister, which I understand. But again, that part, I go back to him kind of going out and about by himself, knowing that he had called out somebody who's straight street. He called out somebody who was like about that life and didn't kind of protect himself in the event that person takes him up on his challenge. So we're going to switch over. I want to show you something else pertaining to the actual fight that went down. So let me see. Let's jump over to consequence.net. So it says DaBaby and crew assaulted ex-girlfriend's brother in bowling alley. Y'all, look at this. Look at this. Like, y'all see little DaBaby, his little self, because DaniLeigh's brother looked like he got some hide on him. And he also has, long hair. So, yes, it was a mess. I may post some links maybe pertaining to the actual fight. I don't know if I want to, really show it on here for any like copyright situation, but it's out there. Everybody's talking about it. The article goes on to say a brawl broke out in California bowling alley after DaBaby threw a punch at his ex-girlfriend's brother. Let's see. After this, the video posted to social media captured the conflict as it spilled out onto the lanes, and the rapper's crew overwhelmed the man. TMZ reports that the person at the bottom of the pile is Brandon Bills. Not the bottom of the pile, y'all. Brother of artist DaniLeigh, who had a daughter by DaBaby last July. DaniLeigh and DaBaby have been publicly feuding since at least November, when the rapper began filming DaniLeigh during an argument that ended with the cops being called. Afterwards, the child's uncle challenged the father to a boxing match, though at the time, Bill seemed to want all the fighting to take place in the ring. Close my window. Y'all, I don't know if that's my dog or the doggone neighbor's dog barking. So let me see. It's unclear why Bills appeared at the bowling alley. Video begins with him apparently arguing with DaBaby and the rapper throwing a punch that sends him sliding across the bowling lanes before he could regain his footing. Men who seemed to be associated with DaBaby jumped him, punching and kicking him on the ground. The brawl ended after about 20 minutes, after which DaBaby exited the bowling alley. TMZ reports that Bill stuck around shirtless and bloody, though he refused medical attention. Police eventually showed up and are now investigating the incident as an assault with a deadly weapon because Bills was kicked on the ground. Check out the footage of the fight below. All right, so let's see. Last July, DaBaby lashed out at gay people in a hateful speech. So y'all remember that debacle at a Rolling Loud, Miami. After a hearted apology and defensive music videos got him dropped from several music festivals. He issued an apology to GLAAD and HIV/AIDS nonprofit, but despite signaling that this was the beginning of a longer conversation, he subsequently ghosted those organizations. So they never showed a whole story. Let's see what this person talking about. Let's see, y'all. Okay. So yes, y'all see that was a whole mess. They done got the man all by his hair. I guess that's one of the cons of a man having long hair. You can get your braids pulled. So it's just a mess, it's a sad situation. So there is, I think, following that incident, DaniLeigh's brother, Brandon Bills, did speak out. Let me try to share that. Let me see, because he did. Brandon Bills. He did speak out following that incident. So let me jump over. Let me share my screen so we can see what Brandon had to say. Fair use. So let's just see. Hopefully we won't get flagged.
Niggas want to grab me by my hair. Niggas didn't catch no fair one. Niggas came and jumped me, my nigga. Once I slipped, nigga, I spoke to you like a man, my nigga. I say, yo, come, let's talk one-on-one like some men, my nigga. Me and you on the side, my nigga. On some real nigga shit, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's some bitch-ass nigga shit. Ain't no brownie points there, my nigga. Niggas grab me by my fucking hair, nigga, on that slippery-ass floor, my nigga. Fuck out of here, nigga. One person, nigga. I was by myself, nigga. And I stood right there, nigga. I spoke to you. Well, all your niggas right there, my nigga. I bet you that shit would have been slippery, nigga. I would have been throwing, nigga. It would have been on, my nigga. It would have been on for real.
Okay. So y'all see, Brandon was very passionate in that moment following the fight at the bowling alley. I feel it, from my understanding, it's like he went there, he saw DaBaby, he tried to speak, whatever. And then they kind of, seems like, he was kind of caught off guard where they just kind of all jumped him. So the question is, will there be any legal charges taken out against DaBaby? Because even though it was a lot going on, it was mostly like really with pulling and things like that. You seen DaBaby in the footage, but I didn't see really, as far as with DaBaby, throw any actual punches. You can tell like that DaBaby was caught up in the brawl, like where he was kind of holding him. So I don't know how that works when it comes to like, charges, assault charges and things like that. Can it be tugged? Do you necessarily have to throw a blow? Can it be like tugging or things like that? Is that still considered, to be, an assault? I don't know, because I don't know what DaBaby's like rap record looks like. I mean, as far as his criminal record, if he's on any type of probation or anything like that, because y'all know, if you're on probation, you can't, what they say, you can't even jaywalk without you getting hand up and going back behind bars. So I don't know, I guess we'll have to continue. I'll continue to watch for this story to see if there's any type of legal ramifications that are going to kind of take place, because everybody's like, this footage is floating around. So I can't imagine the authority, law enforcement not seeing this. Nowadays, I think they do a lot of their investigations from like social media, things like that. Help people be telling on their own self. They make the jobs for law enforcement very easy, because everybody everybody records everything nowadays. So it don't make it hard to try to prove, okay, you was there, you did this, that, because people are like posting stuff. And I haven't heard, in that clip, Brandon, DaniLeigh's brother, didn't mention anything as far as with if he was going to be pressing any charges or anything like that. But in all, it's not a good look for DaBaby. I think two things we got going on. One is just like, why y'all have to jump him? Like, DaBaby, you couldn't step to him on your own. It wasn't like you just sent your people on him, like you were in the mix too. So that part. And then two, DaBaby, can you afford to be getting caught up in any type of legal, any, situations where there's, well, if anything, you can get hit with a disorderly conduct charge because y'all fighting in a public place, in a bowling alley in California. So it's just, it was definitely reckless behavior on DaBaby's, on the baby's end. Based on looking at the footage, I don't see where there would be any charges taken out for Brandon, given that it was evident that he was jumped. So if anything, it would just be a matter of charges being taken out against DaBaby and his crew, whoever can be identified in the clip. So y'all know how that go. Once you start getting people behind closed doors, folks start dropping names and all of that. So I think it's definitely going to be more to come of this in the coming weeks, just because it's caught on camera. We're not dealing with, oh, I heard there was a listen, we just saw it. Like it is what it is. It ain't even up for the question, no debate. You see exactly what happened. So it is what it is. So like I said, I'm gonna continue to watch this. Let me know your thoughts. Drop a comment. Again, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I go live. And, we're going to kind of keep this party lit. So we're going to hop over to the situation with Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. So let me jump. Let me talk this troll. Okay, so let me jump over to people. Kim Kardashian. Okay, so I want to get into this before I jump off of here. This is from people.com, and it reads, Kim Kardashian reveals the life changes she made that caused her divorce from Kanye West. So sis said, listen, y'all, I had to start I had to start moving differently. And my computer's malfunctioning. Make sure y'all can see what y'all supposed to see. Let me check, make sure. Okay, make sure we still good. Okay. So it goes on to say, Kim Kardashian is putting herself first. In a new interview with Vogue for the March 2022 cover story, the Skims creator opened up about how learning to prioritize her own happiness contributed to her decision to split from Kanye West last year. Sis was like, listen, I can't do this no more. And I think we all can relate, where sometimes you may find yourself where you're living for other people and not yourself. And I think it's one thing when you're a parent and, you're still raising your children and you're putting yourself on the back burner and putting your children first. That's typically kind of the norm for what a parent will find, at least a responsible parent, a caring parent will find themselves doing when it comes to their children. But when it comes to another adult, that's on a whole nother level when you start dimming your light or taking a back seat and having your feelings be dismissed and just acting like you're okay with it just for the comfort of the other person who feels that they are basically the star of the show at all times. My thing is that, being in a relationship and a marriage in particular, since they were married, it's about balance. Kanye, yes, he's a rapper. He's very known. Yes, you can have your shine, but I don't feel like his shine necessarily has to come at the expense of his wife feeling less than. I feel that within the marriage, Kim Kardashian can respect Kanye's position, but without feeling like a less of a person or disrespected in the midst of that. So the article goes on to say, she is quoted as saying, For so long, I did what made other people happy. Kardashian 41 said. And I think in the last 2 years, I decided I'm going to make myself happy. And that feels really good. Even if that created changes and caused my divorce, I think it's important to be honest with yourself about what really makes you happy. I've chosen myself. I think it's okay to choose you. Period. I agree with that. Added Kardashian, my 40s are about being team me. I'm going to eat well, I'm going to work out, I'm going to have more fun, spend more time with my kids and the people who make me happy. I'm going to put my phone down, unfollow if I don't want to see something on Instagram. My sister Khloe Kardashian came up with the best phrase for that yesterday. She said post and ghost. Her journey of self-discovery also impacted her fashion choices, which West 44 heavily influenced in the past. So basically, I'm just picking up that Kim was saying within her marriage, she just felt like she lost herself. And it happens. I certainly can relate. As you're stepping into your 40s, you're just really trying to just evaluate like who you are, where you've been, where you're trying to go. You're just trying to be more intentional about things. And then when you're a parent and as your children are starting to get older, they're starting to become a little bit more independent and maybe not as needy with certain things as far as say with changing diapers, potty training. So I understand it's like the more independent your children get, the more, you start to get a little bit of yourself back, a little bit of your freedom. And then especially when you're done as far as with having more children, whether you're both birthing them or she had a surrogate, you're like, now it's time for me to go ahead and continue to raise my kids, but also try to, get into myself and identify what it is that makes me happy and then make it do what it do. And sometimes when you do that, that can make other people feel some type of way. Unfortunately, Kanye started to feel some type of way, I suppose, when Kim was like, yo, I'm starting to make my life be about me and not be about what your comfort is. And the fact that Kanye couldn't understand that and they couldn't come to some type of healthy, happy median, that's a problem. That's a problem because he shouldn't have an issue with her feeling like it's time for her to start living for her as long as it's something, it's in a way that's still respectful within their union. So what else she goes on to say? She also says, I always think what will be next because I always had Kanye who knew exactly what the next fashion era would be for me, she said. And there's something scary about being out there on your own, but also something so liberating. Who knows? I might just be in Skims and be so comfy and casual and wear no makeup. And that might be what I feel like representing to the world. Maybe it's just not that serious. Kardashian filed for divorce from West in February 2021 after nearly 7 years of marriage. Towards the end of that year, she sought a judge's permission to be declared legally single. The pair have continued to co-parent their children, North 8, Saint 6, Chicago 3, and Psalms 2. Though just last week, the two clashed when Kardashian was forced to defend her parenting style after West publicly criticized daughter North's use of TikTok against his will. Describing their current co-parenting dynamic, Kardashian told Vogue, you can be so hurt or angry at your ex, but I think in front of the kids, it always has to be your dad's the best. Make sure you are your co-parent's biggest cheerleader, she added, no matter what you're personally going through. So, I mean, that makes sense. It sounds like, they're trying to make this as easy as possible for the kids. I mean, divorce is never easy, especially when your kids are old enough to understand, like your bigger kids, like North, who's 8, and Saint, who's 6. Like they're going to have like memories of certain things, where Chicago and Psalms, the two little ones, Chicago may have some memories, but I wouldn't imagine it be on the level of the memories that North has and Saint has, during this time. So to me, Kim is sounding like a responsible mom. And I like the fact that regardless of what's going on with her and Kanye, she still plans to speak about her children's father to them in a positive light, as it should be. Kardashian has been dating Pete Davidson since last year. In a recent interview with People, the TV show host Kay Adams, the Saturday Night Live star, called Kardashian his girlfriend for the first time. The 28-year-old also opened up about spending their first Valentine's Day together as a couple. I don't think I've ever had a Valentine's Day thing, really, said Davidson. So this would be the first year that I'm thinking about Valentine's Day plans, I guess. West, meanwhile, is dating actress Julia Fox. So, y'all, I was hearing that even after all these rants that Kanye's been having as of late, he's still putting out there he's wanting his family. He wants his family. To me, it's obvious that's why he's showing out. But at the same time, bro, is this how we going about doing it? It's like one minute you dogging her out and questioning her parent, and then next minute, oh, I want my family to be back together. It doesn't work that way. You can't be speaking out the side of your neck on Monday and then on Wednesday phoning a friend saying, hey, can you help me get her back after you just publicly dogged the person out. It doesn't work that way. So I really think that it's time for Kanye to cut his losses and move on and learn how to co-parent with his soon-to-be ex-wife, Kim Kardashian, because sis seems like she's very ready. She sounds like she's happy. She's experiencing something new. New can be exciting. It can be scary. It seems like she probably has like a lot of emotions running through her right now. It's just a lot going on. She's still got her baby's feelings to think about. But at the same time, she's going through this ugly, I call it ugly divorce with Kanye, because he's not making it easy. And then then she has this new relationship she's trying to nurture. So sis got a lot going on. I definitely do not envy her. Hopefully she don't worry herself and become bald-headed by the end of the day, because it's a lot. It's a lot going on. And Kim, even though she is a celebrity, many people have been in a situation similar to hers where they're trying to break away from a relationship that was toxic, and the other party in the relationship was like, no, I'm not ready. It's just sad, because far too often that is the case, where there is one person in the situation who is like, no, I'm not going anywhere. And they're just okay with just trying to make your life a living hell for however long they want to. Like, it's just sad. It's just sad. So you just have a lot of mentally unstable people in this world, people who are going through things. And with that being said, it's important to pay attention to the signs early on when we meet these people and they're showing that they're not mentally, emotionally all the way there. We got to cut our losses. Not okay after you even got pregnant, had kids with the person, or even got married. Like, we got to pay attention to the signs. More often than not, y'all, when you look back, like, those signs were there, but we were just caught up in whatever it was that we were caught up with at the time. And sometimes people don't even stick around long enough to even tell their story. Somebody else on their blog or on their YouTube channel is telling the story for them. Like the YouTuber I listen to, Leandria TV, she's been covering that a lot lately with stories where in the relationship, one party was just not ready to cut ties, and it just did not end well. And it's just sad, especially within our community, the Black community, where that happens a lot. More often than not, it is the man who's like, no, I'm not ready to let you go, sis. You do have cases sometimes where it's the woman, but the bulk of the time, it's the man who's stuck, who's really in his feelings, and is showing that he is psychotic, toxic beyond toxic, and he's just not ready to let go. And it just, your whole situation makes the news. So I'm just hoping for the best for the West family, for everyone, Kanye to get the strength to move on and live his best life, and Kim Kardashian to do the same. And I wish the best for their babies. There's 4 babies in this. So thank you for joining. If any of you did catch my live, also for those who catch my playback, but please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, drop a comment. I like to read the comments. Let me know your thoughts. DaBaby, do y'all think he was just out of pocket for walking up on that man, on Brandon with his crew and jumping him like that, pulling on his brakes? I'm back. I don't know what happened. Somehow I lost y'all. Oh, I'm glad the live stream didn't end, but I'm about to cut this short. Again, welcome to the party. Thank you for my new subs and those who have already been a part of the party. My starlights, you are my starlights. But let me know your thoughts. Kim's like, yo, I'm having a peace of mind. I'm about to spend Valentine's Day with my new bae. And I'm just trying to move on, you know. Do you think she had every right? Or do you think like, nah, sis, go back home, go walk across the street where your husband now lives because he's ready to have his family back together? I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think. I've told you what I think. Let me know what you think about all this mess that's going on right now in the celebrity streets. So until the next broadcast, peace.